Yo, whether you watching this from Facebook, Twitter, click the link in my Instagram, moviepilot.com, or YouTube itself. What up, world? So I just saw what, if I remember correctly, was like my third or fourth most anticipated movie of the year, War for the Planet of the Apes. It obviously is the third installment in the Planet of the Apes reboot series, and it stars Andy Serkis, Woody Harrelson, Steve Zahn, Maya Miller, Judy Greer, and it's directed by Matt Reeves, who directed Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, who directed Cloverfield, and who, as of right now, is attached to direct the Batman solo movie in the DC extended universe. If you want to get a shout out next weekend in my review of Dunkirk, stay tuned to the end of the video to figure out how you can do that. So they tell us how long after Dawn this movie takes place. They do something like they basically give you a last time on Planet of the Apes at the very beginning of the movie with some text across the screen. It was cool with what they did. But then I mean, I can really give you a real short synopsis of this plot. The apes are just trying to survive. Um, basically, the war started at the end of Dawn, and the apes are just trying to survive. Caesar has always said he's not. His mission isn't to kill humans. His mission is to protect apes. And there's an incident with some military characters led by Woody Harrelson. Caesar has an agenda, and there's nothing else to say because something could be spoiled, and I'm not gonna do that. So that's your story. I mean, this is one of my favorite series. I mean, Rise was my favorite movie of 2011. Dawn was like my number two behind Captain America: Winter Soldier. I think on Wax and on YouTube, on video, I think I said that it was probably like third behind X-Men: Days of Future Past. But I've dropped X-Men. I think even behind Guardians of the Galaxy. X-Men is probably like my fourth favorite movie of that year by now. But that's neither here nor there, man. War for the Planet of the Apes, my third, maybe fourth most anticipated movie this year, did not at all disappoint, man. I loved this movie from start to finish. Once again, Andy Serkis just kills it. His performance as Caesar is just so emotional. And now I remember Woody Harrelson telling him he's so emotional in the trailers. But I mean, he is, man, because he's the king. You know what I'm saying? He is the representative, the protector, the leader of all ape civilization. With the effects and Caesar's fur, like you can see the age. You like a president, how a president goes in looking youngish, and by the end of their term they look old as shit. Fully grown Caesar in Rise compared to Caesar now, it's like he had a presidential run, man. You can see the age and the gristle in his fur, man. And I love how they touched him up as far as effects and all that, man. Like, yeah, like the CG is I thought it was real apes, man. Like that's how convincing the CG is, man. They all look like real animals. They all look like real apes. The cinematography, the landscape, man, the scenery is all beautiful. Like this movie, the shot framing is great. As far as direction, man, like unless the Batman comes out the same year as Avengers 4, there's no possible way that the Batman, due to Matt Reeves, due to Ben Affleck, there's no way that the Batman is not my most anticipated movie that year. It's like, man, I don't know what else to praise without giving without trying to spoil anything, man. I liked Woody Harrelson, and for a villain, I liked his mentality. He basically explains everything, and like he gives a little backstory, and it's basically like, this is why I am the way I am, and I completely get it. Because as the years go by, man, like something is happening to the remaining humans, and his mentality, it's completely understandable. And I thought, based on the trailers, man, the trailers made it look like to me that he was gonna like be real over the top and real cartoony and be a weak point of the movie for me, and he really wasn't. He's not Koba. Like, Koba is hands down is the best villain that this series has had, this reboot series, and one of the best villains cinematically as of late. But it's like, just like I felt like Dawn didn't like, you understood Caesar, you understood Koba, you understood Jason Clarke, you understood Gary Oldman. I feel like in this you definitely understand Caesar, and you can understand Woody Harrelson too. I mean, there are some flaws in the movie that I didn't care about. Like, there's a lot of predictability to it. Like, based on certain interactions, you know how some things are gonna play out. And there's a tease that they did with a character. There's one character who's been in all three movies who does something that he hadn't done in all three movies, and I just kind of laughed when he did it. But now, like, me and my man were talking, and so it happened in another movie, and it's driving me crazy because I can't figure out what movie it is. And then like, Steve Zahn was real good. Like, I didn't know in what capacity Steve Zahn was gonna be in the movie. Like, I knew his type of role, but I didn't know how he would play into the story. And I really enjoyed his performance. And then there's also Easter eggs to the original series that I thought were cool. That I have a theory about those Easter eggs. But man, like, my boy had a complaint that War for the Planet of the Apes doesn't really have that much war. It starts off with an initial battle scene, and there's a big battle toward the end, but the end kind of slows down, but it's completely 3,000% interesting. So I really didn't find the lack of war that the title promotes that much of a flaw. Like I said, it's slightly predictable, but at the same time, I'm completely satisfied with the way that this movie wrapped up. If they do more, I'm satisfied with the way this 3-movie arc wrapped up. If it's only a trilogy and they don't make any more Apes movies, in my opinion, it's one of the greatest, all-time great trilogies in cinematic history. Especially as far as third movies, I think it's better than The Dark Knight Rises. It's definitely better than, like, Spider-Man 3. It's better than The Godfather 3. You can throw multiple third movies in a 3-movie trilogy out there, and it's better than a lot of those. I loved it, man. It's flirting with knocking Logan off of my favorite movie of the year list, man. So, spoiler alerts. With all that being said, in my opinion, War for the Planet of the Apes is dope as fuck. There's probably things that I want to say that I'll end up putting on my Letterboxd review, but they're just not coming to me while I'm recording. What did you think of War for the Planet of the Apes? Like it, hate it, somewhere in between, man. Let me know. Rank the reboot trilogy, man. I think Dawn is still the best in the series, and I'll put War slightly over Rise, but I think they're all dope as fuck. I want to give a huge shout out to my dudes Shy and Brandon of Shy and Brandon's Pretty Okay Sports Show. They had me on last weekend, and we chopped it up and talked about Spider-Man: Homecoming for a little bit, man. So I'll drop a link so you can check out their channel and you can get to the episode through that, because I'm lazy. If you want to shout out, just within $2 million, higher or lower, man, how much is Apes gonna make this weekend? Get your guesses in before the results come out. Noon Central Time, that's the cutoff. And I'm still trying to slang these Ripped Apparel t-shirts, man. Real dope pop culture mashups, man. Link in the description, discount code in the description. Right now I got on this Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Dead mashup. Dope as hell. Check it out, man. Grab a couple teas. Next week, like I said, I want to review Dunkirk. The week after that, I want to see Atomic Blonde, and I want to see the Emoji Movie. I think this shit looks funny. I've recently posted reviews for Spider-Man, for Baby Driver, for Despicable Me 3, for The House. I got a movie talk posted. I got a Blu-ray collection update posted. And I'll drop a movie talk for this month too, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Find me where you find me, man. Don't know where to find me? Watch these credits. Peace.